Undertake this discussion, and just in front of me I have Dr. Joseph Obeng, and he's the president for the Ghana Union of Traders Association, a good friend of ours, always very all available to have these discussions. Thank you for coming to the studio.
Thank you so
and thank you for at least listening to the Gamanche, so that you called off your closure of the shops. And then Mr. Kweku Ajimanduya, he's also the CEO for the Association of Oil Marketing Companies. You're not going to increase fuel soon, are you?
Soon.
Hey, I said more. And then also at the heart of all this, we're talking Forex. And the Vice President of the Forex Bureau Association of Ghana is also here, Dr. Alex Akpabli. He's also an academician as well. So we have two PhD holders right here. They are the brains. They're just not in government. And thank you, Dr. Akpabli, also for helping us do that discussion. But
thank you.
We need to start with you because you are the heart of this conversation. Because you are just one of many others who are also affected by the crumbling of the city. What is at the heart of the conversation, really? Because you are players.
Our capitals are being eroded. It's as simple as that. It's being taken from left and right. Whilst the foreign exchange is taking a chunk from our resources, the interest rate is also taken from the left. We have nothing to hold on now. And that's why we wanted to communicate to the world, because we feel the brunt even the most, because we buy the dollar and do our business with it. You might have heard that dollar is going up, but you do not know the actual effect. The president or the government might also know that we have a problem, but the actual effect is those of us who use it, the end users. And that's why we came out to tell our story, that this is the extent of suffering that we are having. When I use the $13, the time that the dollar reached 13, our capitals have been eroded by over 52%.
You're saying that by the time the dollar got to 13 Ghana cedis.
That's what I was using for my illustrations. I needed a calculator to do how far we have gone now that we are heading towards 15. I wanted to do the calculation, and we see that probably at this time we've gone past 60%
of the erosion of your capital.
Yes, we've gone past it. It's scary.
If you say your capital haven't been eroded, do an illustration with $100,000, which let's say 3 months ago.
Let me give you an illustration. That we started the year with 6.2, and so if my capital is 620,000 Ghana cedis, I was able to buy $100,000 as you called. Now that I'm speaking, when I was using, because I've been calculated where the rate is now, I'll find it difficult to give you the correct figures. But if I use the 13, the last time I worked, it was...
Let's work at 14.
Let somebody do work 14.5.
14.5.
Probably, because they are talking about 15.
Let me help. Okay. You continue talking. No, let me...
At 13...
No, we're doing 14. So, okay, at 13, your capital...
At 13, my capital had reloaded about 52% because the capital that used to buy $100,000, the same 620,000 can now buy 47,700. My capital have been spirited away. But this is just 2 days ago that I was using 13.
Yes.
And 2 days on, my capital calculated. And let's see how far my capital have gone. And then you know the extent of suffering that businesses are going through.
66.2.
66.2.
Yes.
So
and that's a capital you just had 2-3 days ago.
Just 2-3 days. So calculate how much it can buy. The 14, the 62 620, how much it can buy? 620,000. The dollar that I can buy. Just 2 days. It's very important. Let's take some time so that people can understand the extent of our suffering.
You can only get 44,285 USD with $620,000.
Exactly. Where I used to buy $100,000.
So in January, 620,000 would have given you 100,000 US
yes,
dollars.
Beginning of this
3
year.
days ago, it would have given you 11. Let me.
47,700.
Yeah.
You use it that way, and now 44,000.
Trouble 47. Yes, 47,000.
Yeah.
600. And
Yeah. So where are we heading
Now
to?
you
So
only-
if my capital is a borrowed one, my interest rates have gone up to 38%. And so per annum, how much I'm going?
You mean the local interest rate that you take it from the
That
commercial bank?
Most of our capitals
It's not
are
your own
borrowed.
money.
Yes. And so if it is borrowed, you also have the interest rate to contend with, to pay. And then 38% per annum. Calculate it. It will go beyond 240,000. Take it from that capital. It's finished. Inflation is said that inflation has consumed all the purchasing power of the final consumer to the extent that he's unable to buy the same quantities that he used to buy. Now, the same amount that you used to buy 10 items, now you can only even struggle to buy 4.
Yeah.
And so your turnover is what businesses thrive on. So if you do not have turnover, it means that you are unable to service your loans, both locally and externally.
Right.
This is what is happening.
Let me just do
to us.
the illustration. So we have 608,000.
Yeah.
And you are taking it at a local interest rate of 38%, right?
Yes, please.
So that will be 0.38. So at the end of the day, you're supposed to pay an interest per annum of. Hey, what Papa is saying?
Write it. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I've seen it. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So, Dr. Obing, we just want to get the illustrations right.
Yes.
At the beginning of the year, you had 620,000. 620,000.
Yeah.
And this time, you're taking it at an interest of 0.38, and that's 38%. So per annum, you're supposed to be giving the bank back some interest of 235,600.
Yes.
Okay. But at the same time, this money you are exchanging at you are exchanging at 14 Ghana cedis. And if I do the calculation very well, $14 Ghana cedis as at today, you are getting 44,000.
Yeah.
285. And this is today,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
But you are saying that just 2 days ago, 2 days ago,
At 13.
you were exchanging this at what?
13.
13.
Yeah.
That is Ghana cedis, right?
Cedis, yeah.
And already we did a calculation, it was 47,000. And that's just an approximation.
47,600.
600, yes, yes, 600. So, look at the money that you've lost.
Yeah.
If this is the situation you find yourself, is it the same situation that the OMCs also find themselves? Mr. Ajimandia?
Once it's financials, it's the same thing. And ours is even worse in terms of the fact that we are part of the global players. And it's like, if you can't do it, somebody else can do it. And
I don't understand. You mean from your suppliers?
For suppliers, yes.
So let's say suppliers of Guta, also from OMCs.
If you have got limited suppliers.
Let's say you have suppliers credit.
Yes, definitely. We don't get suppliers credit.
Not anymore.
Now we don't get suppliers credit.
Okay, let's say
we have these financials that we have to really get over. And like you said, I mean, like you say in 1st December. Like,
but for oil companies, the exporters, your
export.
No, importers, it's hedged, right?
Who hedges it? Nobody. There's no hedging.
Not also for Guta as well?
No, we are not hedging anything. Who hedges what? You go into the market, what you get is what you buy.
So it's the same rate for you as well?
The same thing that we have it.
Okay.
And of course, ours will be worse in terms of the fact that it's not waiting for you. If you can't take it, somebody else will take it. You know, because we have got the production is finite. And if you can't take it, somebody else will take it. So if you really want to get it later, it becomes very expensive.
The fuel that we basically use, of course, is benchmarked on some of the already published prices of crude.
Yeah.
Where do you take them from? From which of the markets?
Basically, ours is with the...
Is it the Gulf? Is it?
Yes, we do it. Oil.
No, the Gulf. Where do you buy them?
Yes, we buy them from the Gulf, yes, basically.
So what we are consuming is basically from the Gulf?
Yes.
So the Gulf will mean Saudi Arabia, UAE, those Oman,
exactly.
Bahrain, some of those places.
And normally it's difficult. It's very competitive getting it. Because remember, the US people are involved. And they have got...
So is it possible you may get it at rates higher than what the market, because of competition?
Oh, because of competition, yes. Because
they would want to sell it to a market that can easily recover their money for
exactly. Them. That's what they do. Because, so if you can't have it. You go with your CDs and you want to go and now you're going to bargain, the market will be gone. You won't get your supply. And when you do get a supply, to be higher price. So obviously it's the financials the same thing.
When I listen to you and Senyo Hosi, and of course he's no more with Bok Oil, but I get the understanding, and also with Bod, I get the understanding that we always have some 2 weeks reserves and things. It gives you time, or even one month.
Or 2 weeks is a window to change the price. It's for consumers. We would like to...
No, I'm talking about storage. I'm not even talking about the automatic adjustment. That we
would like to price even every hour. That's happening right now.
No, tell me. You have to. I mean, you cannot be pricing every hour.
No. I mean, what's the dollar rate now? The prices that you are seeing out there.
No, the 14 is just...
The prices of food that you are seeing out there right now. It was built on 11.46.
Okay.
11.46. And look at...
Let me go back. I think this thing... As we're calling locally, sweeting me. Okay. All right.
Imagine 11.46, and what is the dollar rate now?
Okay.
And we're still selling at the price.
So you are saying that the fuel that you are pricing, how much are you selling a gallon now, or a liter? A liter is...
No, it varies now because of the...
I think mainly, averagely is around 13?
Yes, 13. Yes, use 13 for petrol.
Okay. So... 13 is for petrol.
Yes.
Okay, so we have petrol.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll focus on petrol.
Yeah.
You are saying that this 13 is based on a rate of US dollar 11.
11 point, yes, 11 point, yeah.
That's what you
exactly.
Okay. But ideally, you are now going to mop up cities to go for the next consignment.
Consignment, which the dollar, as you're speaking, is swinging. Now it's moved to 12.3. Maybe some places are getting 13.
Okay, you are getting it at 12.3.
No, that's what it's moving right now. 12.3.
No, it's
by
14.
By the time we get to, you say 14. By the time we get to Monday, it will be like 15.
Dr. Obin, how much do you usually get a dollar now? Or your members, how much are they getting?
No, if I can say, because the whole of yesterday I was in meetings and all that.
Okay, 2 days ago, how much were your members getting?
That's what I told you. Because now it's not even static.
No.
Yes. Now it's based on availability.
Supply. The person that you are getting, somebody you hear that I got 13 points. The first below man is here. Let him.
I'll
the
come to
professor.
That's the canker. That's what's killing us.
When is your next consignment as oil marketing coming?
Basically, the consignment is there.
Okay. So your next pricing window.
The next pricing window will be next week. At the end of next week, we have another one.
So at the end of next week.
Yeah.
21st.
So
by 28th.
Yes.
By 28th October.
Yes.
We're going to have fuel going up.
Yes.
From that October 28th, 29th. So by 30th we should have new prices.
New prices. Yeah.
30th.
Unless you bring the hand of God in.
Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah.
We need him. We need him.
New prices.
And that's the financials. The other one is getting the product itself. Because remember, OPEC has cut down its production.
I'm listening.
In production. So the few ones that we have there become very competitive. They are also protecting their business. By cutting down, they know that the price will go up.
Yes.
And
they are regulating the market.
Exactly. And they will
That's Russia, Ukraine. So they also want to milk it.
So what it means is that we're all going to compete for the supply. And of course, it's the highest bidder who takes it. So that's something which is hanging.
All right. I'll come on why we seem to be paying higher than maybe the developed countries or something like that.
Well,
okay, so I'll come to that. Why is it that the dollar is now left to the market forces to decide demand and supply?
I think.
Why do I have to go to the tree under? I have Yusuf at airport, so I usually go to. Why do I have to go to Yusuf?
I think first of all, I need to tell you who we are as forest bureaus. Okay, so forest bureaus are non-banking financial institutions licensed by the Bank of Ghana. Okay, and for that matter, the Bank of Ghana, supervises us, they regulates and even direct, our operations. Okay, and so at the end of every month, we submit returns to BOG. Okay, so we are regulated institutions. And so, but the challenge, the challenge we have the parallel market that compete with us.
Meaning what?
When I'm saying the parallel market, I'm talking about the black market. All right, that compete very.
Aren't you the same people operating in the black market?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all.
So who gives the dollars that the Nigerians and the boys use?
Well, for us as city, I cannot tell you that.
We don't have to play ostrich.
Yeah, no, not playing ostrich, but because we buy and sell foreign. We buy and sell. Okay, so as where they get their forex from is a subject that we need to.
What you are telling me is official information.
Yes.
Okay. So the unofficial information. I want you realistically, based on your how long have you been in the market?
Oh, for about almost 25 years.
So let's talk unofficial information based on your hearsay. Why is it that when I go to a number of forex bureaus, like for example, a big friend of mine yesterday got 130,000 USD at 15, but again, it was based on market forces. It was not available. So the one who was able to mop up the cash for him under the tree sold it to him at 15.
Under the tree? Are you talking about a forest bureau, black market?
Yes, I'm talking black market. Yeah. I'm not saying that you are black market.
No, I understand. But you see, that is a big challenge that we have as a country. We have a regulated institution. If you need dollar, for instance, the Guta president here, if he needs dollar, and knowing very well that we have forest bureau, a regulated institution, can come to us, and then we can help. All right. But if you chooses to go to the, the black market, and even it's not even safe. It's not safe. Sometimes you get fake dollars. Sometimes you even get CDs that are, the fake ones. So I think that based on what you have asked me, I want to use this opportunity to advise that any organization or institution that needs forex, I think that if the bank cannot supply, the next is to come to the bureaus.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, let me contribute to. Okay. There's a clear distinction between from the black market and then the forest bureau, and people fuse them together. It's very unfortunate.
You mean
got the
local people?
Yeah, that normally
because I don't confuse them.
No, normally people do confuse the two, but because these are regulated institutions, and then the role that have been earmarked for them should be well communicated to them, and then we have to streamline that activity because their role is very important, because we cannot trade in the currency, the smaller transactions that we do, and we all go to the mainstream bank. It is not possible. And that's why when you travel, you see the bureau detained and all that. It's well organized. And that is how this thing should also be done.
Yeah.
You see,
even in Northern Africa,
the black market, if we do not take care, there's a cartel being built around the black market. It's dangerous. Let me tell you, each morning, if you go, you want to buy the dollar, and maybe you go around 8:30, they will tell you the rate has not come.
Yes.
The rate is not coming from Bank of Ghana. Who is giving the rate? Then around 10 o'clock, they will all give you some rate. It's a cartel. We have to find out.
All right. Dr. Obi, don't get worked up. So
yes,
no. So I want to ask you.
But I wanted to ask.
No, I'll ask you. Why is it that, Dr. Obi,
yes, please,
you, as importers, wholesalers, retailers, when you want to mop up cash, you don't go to the commercial banks?
Thank you very much for this question.
I'm talking USD or whatever.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yesterday, I told the president.
Which the president of OMC or who?
The president of Ghana.
When we
have a meeting. Yes. Yesterday, it was a fun discussions and all that. And then we said that when we are transacting with the banks, the requirement is too stringent.
I don't understand.
Yes, because we are traders, we have to transfer our money and all that. And so it should be relaxed.
You mean there's too much bureaucracy? The
bureaucracy, because all that you want to know as a bank is the proof that I've actually bought some goods. So bill of lading, packing list, and invoices, okay. You do not do the accounting of it for or auditing of it for you to say, because GRA is there. They come and do the post-clearance audit and all that. They do the auditing. It's not the work of Bank of Ghana to do the auditing of us. And so people are shying away from doing business with the mainstream banks. And then they are diverting to the black market. They are feeding.
Mr. Obi, the people are your members. Those people you refer to are your members. They are not ordinary people like us.
Yes, but what is the push factor? That's what I'm telling you. Okay. That we have to
the
relax.
Bureaucracy and the system.
Exactly.
They serve as obstacles.
Exactly.
For compliance.
You just want to.
You are saying that the bureaucracy and the system serve as obstacle for compliance.
Exactly. And then it draws people away from transacting through the mainstream banks onto the black market. Not even to our brothers here.
Dr. Obing, what's the best practice to the countries that you go to do the imports? And I've been to a number of those countries. Many people don't know though. But if you go to India, you go to China, you go to Singapore, you go to Dubai, you can't just walk anywhere and go and trade foreign currency, whether you're a large trader or a small trader. So what's the best practice there?
Yeah.
They have stringent policies as well. Yeah. China has the most stringent policy. So, and you trade with China. So what do they do there that you don't want to do locally?
You see, normally, when we travel, if you are a serious businessman, you do not carry money along. We do our transaction. You go when we do fiscal traveling. we want to go and examine the products and all that. And so the monies that you require will be hotel and those things. Normally, because even going through the airport, you have your limit of about 10,000 that you can use. And so the best practice is that when you reach the airport, you see our brothers there, bureau de change. Very well organized. You put your passport there, and then you put your money there, because you have come to another jurisdiction and you have to get their currency. So they change the currency for you. Then straight away you can get your 30.
So you admit there's regulation there?
Of course.
So immediately you get into the port of entry or the country of entry, you have to trade in their currency.
Yes, definitely. Or sometimes, it depending on the country that you are going. But some countries are so conservative with their currencies that,
like South Africa,
you cannot practically use
any other currency. But you can take the US dollar, but you can't do the trading and the business around the country.
It depends on, Dubai's and all that. They are different.
So it depends on the business climate.
But some of them are very conservative with their yeah.
If you want the so-called bureaucracy and the systems to be relaxed for you, but you at the same time are willing to comply, in what ways do you think the Bank of Ghana, the regulators...
You did not get me well. The regulation should be there, but it shouldn't be stringent.
No, I'm not saying that you don't want to be regulated. I'm saying that you are ready to be regulated, but you are telling me that the bureaucracy associated and the bottlenecks, it makes it difficult for compliance, right? And I'm saying that you are ready to comply from what you tell me.
Yeah.
How do you want it done by the regulator so that...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is that we are talking about transfer. When I'm transferring my money, the bank want to know why I'm doing the transfer. Then my bill of lading will be there. The supplier's name will be on the invoices and all that, my pro forma and all that. If you even want to request for the IDF, you've gotten it. And then I give to you, then it's a proof of my transaction. But if you say that maybe you have to bring clearing documents and all that thereafter and all that, because it's not your business, it's for customs and all that to do that. And so if you bring the auditing aspect of the transaction that you did, then it's not under your purview. And that it takes people away from transacting through the mainstream, and then it feeds onto the black marketeering. And that's exactly what I'm saying. I hope you understand.
Yes, I get you.
So
perfectly.
you make it less stringent and
so that
encourage people to come mainstream, and then you can actually know the volumes of transactions that go on. And that's for you, the Bank of Ghana, you would have then captured the volumes that we do. As we see, most times they will bring figures and it's not true, because the ones that go underneath is more than what we do.
Dr. Akpabli, why is it that ideally we shouldn't have been going through the commercial banks and we are now going under the tree at airports or Tudu and those places?
Israel, let me...
Roland.
Oh, sorry. Roland, let me say that the issue we are discussing, right, is very, very important. And what we are seeing is just the effects. And so sometimes we spend a lot of time talking about the effects and not the source. So
let's talk the substantive.
Okay. So money is a store of value. Apart from it being a legal tender and a medium of exchange, money is also a store of value. All right? So when people see their money losing value, they will, as rational economic being, they begin to act. The effect is what we are seeing.
Exactly.
Okay?
Perfect.
And therefore...
if it's a store of value, you mean it's a commodity for exchange. It becomes...
Oh, yeah. So yeah, for instance, people would want to... Because money is also a medium of exchange, sometimes you want to have gold, that the value, can be there anytime you want it. Okay? But here, in our case, the value of your money is just losing every now and then. For instance, when you are doing the calculation, you know that he said that at the beginning of the year, the dollar
Was
The fee was
6.5.
6.2.
Yeah.
And so he was.
Was it 6.2 or 6.5?
Yeah,
6.2.
6.2, and he was saying that he was having 620,000, which could get him about 100,000
USD.
USD. I tell you today, if you have kept 100,000 USD,
would have been
today,
better off than
you would
trading.
have been having 1 million.
1.4 million.
Yeah.
You're saying that it's better than trading?
I'll have it.
No, but no, you're saying, and that you're saying
Because of the value.
references
Yeah.
your argument about the store value.
Yeah. Okay, so look at how much it's losing. You understand? And so the effect is what
Okay.
we are
So
seeing.
what he has lost actually is the 400,000, or is it 40,000?
No. Subtract
Yes, the 40,000 plus the depreciation.
1,400,000.
Plus the depreciation. The interest plus the depreciation.
So that is the state in which we are now, and we must handle this thing with seriousness
With seriousness.
and not there's
How
pay
do
lip
you-
services
how do you
about
mean?
it. Come again?
How do you mean? What do you? How do you mean?
So the managers of our economy must sit up. The managers of our economy must sit up. All right.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Mr. Ajimanduya, the way the depreciation has danced with us over the last 3 days, have we lost control of the currency regulation in terms of our ability to control the CD and how it behaves with the
I mean, it's
US?
obvious. I mean, we lost it. You know, if you cast your mind back, let's say even last year, in a week, for us, we look 2 weeks, 2 weeks. We realize that 2 weeks is fairly stable. Even that one, we had some cases where we're having some of them which were fluctuating like 1.2%, 3%, that kind of thing. But comparative to now, we're having huge kind of fluctuations. So basically, if we can get it stable, even if
No,
the,
leave it.
the increment is stable, stabilizing, we can plan. Business people can plan. But the way it is very haphazard.
It makes it difficult to
Very,
plan.
very difficult. Very, very difficult.
Okay.
But as I'm sitting here, I'm looking at how we are going to get the next pricing window. What's going to be?
Okay, wait.
And that's going to be something else.
Let me get to the. I'm beginning to love this. So right now, the last time I was told that we use gallons, right? So 1 gallon.
Yeah.
Let me try and practice my handwriting very well. 1 gallon is 4.5 liters. Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, literally.
Literally. Yeah.
4.5 liters.
Yes.
1 gallon that we put in our car. The one we trotro users always call 1 gallon, 1 gallon. It's 4.5 liters. And you are selling 1 liter. So 1 liter,
Of petrol.
you are currently selling at 13.5, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But
And this is the current pricing window.
Yeah.
And your next pricing window, we've already done the projection.
Yes. It will be the end of. Get
So,
to the end
are
of-
you thinking about December when there will be pressure on the currency?
Yes. And that's our fear now. Because there will be a lot of, the commodities will be moving from Far East, by those vessels. And there we are going to compete with us with the fuel. So fuel price is supposed to hike up because there will be more demand for fuel.
Okay.
And of course people will also be competing also for the dollars. Because Guta will also be looking to go and bring a lot of products in here. So obviously, the dollar will shoot up.
My question about us getting to 20 Ghana cedis per liter, is it preposterous by December?
It's not preposterous.
You are saying it is possible for us to get to 20 Ghana
Yes,
cedis?
exactly. Because if you look at the trend, it's possible. It can even be more than that. If you don't do anything about it, that's what it's going to be. Unless we start doing something about it. Having some policy guidelines to be able to get through this. Those factors will still be there. Because around that time, That's where goods move from the Far East to the other side. So there will be a lot of demand on the. Remember, we are going to have Xmas too. There will be a lot of demand on the dollar, given the situation, and we will be in the markets also competing for the dollar. We will have to, and normally around that time we get our volumes going up. November ending to December.
But this is scary. You importers, you should have empathy for us, the consumers.
There's no empathy.
Why should we move to 20 Ghana cedis?
We're talking about now we're in the survival mode. Imagine we used to get this one about 90-day credit, BDCs. Now you have to put cash there. Where are you going to get the cash? Like he was saying, you turn around, the dollar is going somewhere. Where are you going to get your dollars? You go there, it's very expensive. So really the cost of doing business now for us, even some of our members are out.
You mean they've halted for the meantime?
No, they halted. They are out of the business. Collapse. Some people who are fit enough to be around, even they are getting ill, getting all kinds of diseases because they are thinking about this kind of thing. So now we are in a survival mode. We are in a survival mode. And we appreciate anything that can be done about this dollar thing. So even if the world prices, assuming the world price is even stable, we have to contend with the exchange rate.
You gentlemen, you are scaring me.
Oh yes, you need to be scared so that we can get certain things done.
See, what we did is to provoke national discourse.
Exactly.
And I've called on so many times that if we have to put ego aside and then call the national dialogue. It has been done before.
Yes.
That we can do. We have a lot of resources.
What do you mean by national dialogue?
Oh, national dialogue meaning pulling your resources together. We have we can't just sit here and such resourceful people like this, we won't put our brains together to help a situation that is affecting all of us.
You mean like what we did at Senchi?
Yes, we can bring us all together so that we can perfect the solutions together. Let's own the problem together.
Exactly.
And solve it together. Without the partisan nature and all that. This time we cannot afford any partisanship. We cannot.
Yeah. Cool down. Your pressure will go up.
No. I'm talking for the generality of Ghanaians.
It's true.
Now, I'm telling my people and I'm guiding them and I'm cautioning them. If you do your business the same old way that you used to do, your business will collapse.
I don't understand.
You have to go with the flying dollar. As the dollar is flying, your prices should be flying alongside. Or your capital will be consumed. Or you'll be left with nothing. And so every day, go and find the dollar rate and do your calculation and benchmark with your cost so that you can get your cost price. As for profit, you can minimize it. If you used to do 10%, try and do about 3% so that your price will not go extremely high to become a little bearable for your customers. This is the way to go hence. Otherwise, your business will collapse. And
what you are saying will lead to disastrous consequences for consumers.
That's the bet. My brother is talking about increasing his price, and you want me to stay put.
Okay, so currently, let's say 14 is to $1. You are saying that your members, those who are Mokola, and those who come to buy from them to go and sell at Medina, Ashaiman, Kumasi, or wherever, you are saying that if they are selling the good at 50 Ghana cedis, let's say high target cloth. High target, because is called 120 Ghana. High target wax, high target print. Okay, you are saying that they should have this in mind.
You are not going to get it correct from there, that angle, because our pricing is benchmark with dollar. That's why we pay duties.
Yeah, I know. All that. So you are saying that they should have this in mind.
Everything should be. So the product that you bought, your cost price was $10. Let's take for instance.
Okay.
And so it was 13 2 days ago. And so check 13 by 10.
Okay. 10 USD.
By 13. By 13 Ghana cedis.
Okay. So this is your buying price.
Yeah.
That is the stock you have.
That's your cost price.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So multiply the cost by 2 days ago. It was 13. So multiply it.
So
by
now it is 30. Okay. So
it will be 130.
yeah. Wait.
Well, you are fond of writing the dollar, eh?
All right. So what we have currently is so Ghana cedi, it's
10
times 13.
10 times 13. $10 times 13 Ghana cedis.
Okay.
130.
So it's 130.
Okay. So 130. So this is the US dollar.
Yeah.
Okay. So 130.
Yeah. 2 days ago.
That's Ghana cedi.
Yeah. So this is your maybe your selling price, or let's take his selling price. So now the dollar is
Selling at Makola.
yeah. Now the same $10. You are not going to use the 13 again. So you have to benchmark it with the new rate. So your new benchmark rate 14 times 10 will be 140. 14 times the 10, 14 Ghana cedis times $10. So give you 140. And so
You are saying
2
that
days
so
ago,
his
I was selling 130. If I do not adjust my price today, and I continue to sell at 2 days ago price, I'm dead.
So what should have been 130 2 days ago is now going to be 140, let's say yesterday or today.
Exactly.
Yes.
So that you can meet tomorrow and the
Is
next.
that all?
And even now, you can make losses.
What you realize is that you sell your goods, all right, maybe people will troop and come and buy it. But when you are going to buy the goods again, maybe if you bought 140 footer container, this time you can buy 20 footer container.
Yes.
And so your capital, your stock, your store has become empty. Oh, I didn't know what I did with this money, but my store is empty. These are the effects.
Okay. How do we make the dollar available?
Thank you very much for that. Yes. So, having listened to him you realize that they have come at this level because of importation. I think we have imports. The Ghana economy have,
Import-led.
yes.
We're too import dependent.
Yeah, too import dependent. You understand? And the truth also is that the challenges we are facing today cannot be solved by the same practices, the same procedures, the same mindset that created them. All right? There must be a paradigm shift. I think we have come to a level in our country where we must be export focused, export oriented.
Exactly.
Everything we want to import. And when you are importing, you don't use the Ghana cedis. Okay? You don't use the Ghana cedis to import. So you need foreign currency, the dollar. And how do you you get the dollar? The dollar comes from export. It comes from your foreign reserve,
Reserves.
Yes, it comes from remittances from abroad. It comes from, for instance, we have the Nigerian banks, there are a lot of them. If we have banks, okay, we have companies in the diaspora, they will also be remitting,
So like the way the US have Apple, etc.
That's it.
Manufacturing in China, they bring the
Yes, they will repatriate dividends.
There's flow back into the economy.
That's it. But here in Ghana, we don't. Even in our own country, the big businesses are owned by foreigners, and then they will be remitting or transferring dividends.
Repatriate
or yes.
Yeah.
And so,
if you look at the budget from the last time, our revenue sources were coming from telecom, extractive industry.
And
All of them are not owned by us.
100% repatriation. We were having Vodafone 100%. Now your share in Vodafone is just about a pittance, about 20%. So what do you do?
So I think that, you see, I teach entrepreneurship. Okay, I'm a lecturer.
At the University of Ghana Business
Yes.
School.
So there is something in entrepreneurship we call creative distraction. All right? Creative distraction, where stakeholders will come together to deliberately dismantle all outdated processes and procedures, all practices that we think that are not working for us.
Exactly.
And then in order to give way for innovative ones or disruptive ones. So I think the time has come now that policy makers or stakeholders come together, like you said.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we all come together, rack our brains, and see what best we can do for our mother Ghana.
Okay.
Roland,
All
let
three
me
of you.
support-
Oh, no, wait. All three of you say Senchi-like kind of stakeholder. I'm not too sure Nana Dodanko for the president will agree, but let's see. Dr. Edu Owusu Sarkodie, you're on the line.
Yes, Roland, lecturer Roland, good morning. I love your lecture.
Who said I'm a brepa? I know some
This
ketwa.
morning.
Who's student? So he's a lead lecturer in economics at the economics department of the University of Ghana. He's a regular also on the channel. Dr. Edu Owusu Sarkodie. My panelists are calling for some stakeholder forum or engagement, and it has to be called by government. Do you think that is the right way for all of us to go?
Yeah, first of all, I like your panel. They are the real industry players. They deal with the dollars every now and then. We sit in the office and do our calculations with the fallout. And so I'm even learning a lot from them today. The good child president, our man from the Forest Bureau, and then the other gentleman from the oil sector. I think there are agents of every economy. There are three main economic agents: the government, the firm, which is the companies, and then the household. So when we are talking about dollar, the interest on the dollar is because it is driving inflation and it is also driving interest rate and the cost of production. And I heard that there's likely to be an increase in oil price in the next coming week because of the exchange rate. So this exchange rate problem, it is a key problem that we must deal with because it is almost the one driving everything at the economy at this time, and that is what we call the real economic practice. And so the three main economic agents: the government, the firms, which are the Forest Bureau, the Guta, and then also the oil firms, but are also the other companies that deal with the dollars, I'm sure. And then also the household, those who also go to the market, who take the transport, like you and me, we go to buy the fuel, we take trotro, we take taxis to the market. So the Ghana Private Road Transport Union, GPRTU, should all come together and have a resolution to this. I think it's a good call. We must all find a solution to this because the economy is collapsing and we cannot watch on. We cannot just sit down with arms folded and watch it collapse. We must rise and do something. The economic management team, the Guta, lecturers, media, we should all rise and find a solution to this. And in finding this solution, in economics, there's something we call the short-term solution, which is more like a temporary measure to stabilize things, and then we move to the medium to long-term solutions that will help our economy survive and sustain for the next coming year. So it's a good call. I think the interest here is on the demand. Hello, are you talking? Hello. Okay. So the interest here is about demand and supply of dollars, and I think the doctor tried to explain to us who demand the dollars and who supply the dollars. Let's look at those who demand the dollars. Obviously, the first one is the traders. Guta is being represented there. Then we have investors, people who have decided that they will not invest in Cedi instruments, Cedi-denominated instruments. Rather, they will buy dollars and save the dollars in their dollar accounts so that they can use it for the future. And it is coming from this speculative, information idea that the cedi will continue to depreciate, and therefore let me buy dollars now and save it as a store of value for my future use. And so these people are not demanding the dollars for importing any good.
Right.
They're only demanding the dollars to save as a store of value in future.
All right.
The other ones are, hello.
Yes. I wanted, because of time, to ask a question.
Okay.
I know that right now the Communist Party is having their main conference or meeting, and President Xi already, before today, had his Belt and Road Initiative. He's supposed to be connecting China to all third world countries and even mainland Europe. If you read the literature that is always published, China holds a lot of reserves, whether in the more developed countries, whether it's in US, Europe, etc. Are you saying we can do something like that, hold reserves in US dollar, even locally, let investors invest in US dollar in our local banks, etc.? Is that what you're saying?
We can try that. We can try that. And I heard your panelists say that if you do the same old thing and you want different results, you will not get a different results. Right now, desperate, situations are calling for desperate measures. We have to try every strategy available. About 30% of our imports, if I get it right, are coming from China. And so if you have reserves in the Chinese yuan, it may not be out of place. But the reason that people usually demand dollars is that almost every other item is priced in dollars. Talk about crude oil, talk about gold, talk about cocoa, talk about every other commodity that is traded on the international market. So it is not out of place to have the Chinese currency as part of our reserves, because obviously traders like Guta will need that to buy their goods from China. And they wouldn't have to go and buy dollars before they change into the Chinese currency. Mm-hmm. If they can buy the Chinese currency, the Chinese yuan, directly from Ghana, why not? We should explore that option.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Owusu Sarkodie. He is a lead lecturer in economics with the University of Ghana, the economics department. And you wanted to add to what he was saying. So
what he was saying was very true, that we have to make a paradigm shift of what we have been doing. It hasn't helped us.
Drastic policy changes.
Structurally, things have gone wrong.
What should we be doing?
And so yesterday, for instance, one of our recommendations, I sent about 15 recommendations to the president, and one of them was we should try and develop a trade diversification policy where we can diversify our destiny. Let me tell you, trading means buying and selling of goods for profit. And so me as a trader, I have a dual purpose, either to sell or to buy. But now I'm overdwelling in the selling aspect, buying aspect. I'm not thinking about the selling because I lack a lot of information. So I said that let's find a policy where Ghana Export Promotion Authority can come with quota, because we ourselves have devised a policy called income in, income out. And let me tell you, first you see that our mothers, our foremothers, they will go to UK with yam, Kobe, palm oil, and all that. They go and sell there. And then when they sell these goods, they will call you, the trader here. I've sold my goods. I have money in UK. I want to buy something to come and sell. And then you give her the list and bring. So then you send the goods to your import destination, and then you use the proceeds to buy goods from the same destination. That's what Prof was saying.
And another means.
Exactly. So that we
of adding more value.
We can add value. We can also show up the forest. Because the destinations that we go, they also buy something. Our trade at the chase are not doing anything good for us. I sat with an ambassador here in Ghana from another country and said that he has been given a target. And so all the time she's having meeting with us and all that so that he can sell. But this thing, they'll go and wear kente and then they'll hold some paper and go and show as a president. We don't know what comes from there. We should be given information so that we can send goods to them. Ghana Export Promotion Authority should bridge up with us. that they give us this information. This is all that we need.
But you don't
because
tell,
we want to maximize. I'm in talk with the CEO, and we met in Barbados, and that's where we have agreed that we are going to sign a memorandum of understanding. Because before then, we wanted information from some of the staff, and they said that, oh, this information is for a customer, and that if we give to you. I said, well, I want to also export something. I was so desperate. And most of us are so desperate. When the Barbados, we signed Guta and Barbados Export Promotion Authority, like our own, they came here and then we signed. And then they said that they buy this in Kuto butter, they buy it from China. And where we have
China has been growing share now.
No, because that one is even diluted, because they also buy from Africa, and then but they even said that Kente cloth they buy it from China because the distance. Oh, they said a lot of things, and I was ashamed. And so
our own Kente in West Africa.
And then he gave me the size of share butter and said that we buy it for $45. And I was craving to go into export. Even now, my craving is there. I've established contact where I will start. I want to encourage most of our traders to diversify, find alternative ways of doing business, because our buying and selling, as we all know, is dead. We can't go and continue like this. But you see, once we'll be trying to even divert, why should we allow the foreigners to come into trading?
What do you mean?
Why?
We have an investment
law that allows them to come freely. That there is a proof of just $1 million of worth of goods, and a company like China Mall come and take the chunk of our resources, 30% of the market share. They sell it, they dump the goods. So what they do is goods for forest. Goods for forest. So I told the president yesterday, as part of my recommendation, that why don't we add something to the investment law to tell them that, okay.
But what you told the president, you think the president doesn't know?
Oh, no, because it's my recommendation. And he said that most of these things is also in the drawing pipeline. So they said that so let me tell you that he said that if they are you've given the certificate, then you have to ask him how many containers are you going to do a day, then for a year. Then he said that this year my projection is 1,000 containers. You say, what is the value? 50 million. He hasn't gotten the money here. So how is he going to bring the goods? It means that you will just bring the goods and come and take your forest. So he said that, okay, bring the money that you are going to trade with this, put it in the Bank of Ghana. Yeah. It's your own money, and then you use it to trade.
You are saying that they only state that in their books, but they don't deposit in any...
No, that's the foreign direct investment.
I understand.
And that's very unfortunate, and that one too is very scary, because you hear that foreign direct investment of $3 billion
which
have come in a year, and you do not see any monumental thing, and then it doesn't reflect on labor, employment. Then we are joking. It means two things. It means that they overstated the so-called investment. Because you know why? First, if he said if the real investment is $5 million, then you make it $50 million. All because he will use the $50 million as his operational cost, and then he cheats the system. You won't pay tax, because you always say that.
So we are own enemies.
And then he has brought 50 million, so he has a right to repatriate 50 million, capital flight. And this is what is going on. We allow ourselves to be cheated. Yes. People do not respect us, even because we are, our laws are so...
I see that today you're very agitated.
Our laws are agitated because I have dollars to buy and I can't buy.
Yeah, because you can't get enough CDs to buy. That's the reality on the ground. We're taking a break. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
Well, so we've come back. We just have to do 3. So now what do we do? Please don't tell me we are getting, because already you are frightening me with this, your 20 Ghana cedi per liter in December. But what's the reality?
The reality is we need to sit down and work out this kind of thing.
You mean like a Senchi type of forum?
Fuel, we need to
bring every stakeholder.
Yeah, because you know, if you look at the price of fuel as of December last year, let me take the petrol. Petrol that you and I discussed it. It was 5.78 per liter. Now it's crossing the almost 14 mark. See, it's not even 1 year. You see, and realize that we have those forces about the forest and that kind of thing, the world price and all. But if you look at it, the main thing is the forest. How can we come to terms to be able to get this one out? That's the question. And I'm not a financial guy. I'm not an economist. So obviously we need to put our heads together as a nation to be able to deal with that. And it shouldn't delay. You know, just like we're sitting here the past 3 days analyzing the rate at which it's going. If we continue to delay, it will be worse for the average Ghanaian. So we need to quickly put something together. Yeah.
What signal will a stakeholder forum bring everybody together, send to our stakeholders on the market? I mean, I'm talking about the international market.
Okay, Roland, you see, if you want to predict the future, you must create it. So I think it's time for policymakers to, you know, with what is happening, take an action, and that in itself was, you know, those outside, you know, the external, international communities will know that we are doing something.
Yes.
So we must create our future, okay? And I just want also to say that to use the forest bureaus, okay? If they need some forex, they should approach the forest bureaus, and by so doing, they must go there with their Ghana card, and also make sure that they insist on their receipts. You see, because the forest bureaus are regulated institutions, and we are required by the regulation to sell over-the-counter export transaction, and also make sure that we issue receipt. By issuing receipts, we must also verify their, you know, the Ghana card. So just patronize us, okay?
Advert. But also for regulation. This stakeholder forum, what would it do to you, your suppliers, and then perhaps calm nerves?
No, all that we need is to inspire confidence into the system.
Exactly.
That's all that we need. Because the trade of money thrives on speculation. And now the speculation creates panic buying and all that. So when you inspire hope into the system, then the fear factor withdraws, and then it stabilizes, because people then will bring in whatever they say is the source of value. So if they see that the value gradually is going down, they say, oh, the best time to sell is now. Let's create that, do everything that they will see that the best time to sell is now. So they bring everything. Government should be able to articulate its policies and make the timelines that this is how I'm solving it, so that if you do the timelines with the targets and all that well spelled out, then people will know that, hey, if I don't do this by this time, from what government is saying, the injections and all that, I might lose so much. You see that you drive the situation and it will be so calm. So let's articulate the policies regarding handling this foreign exchange. We have to do it very well. And then also, the citizens of Ghana should be known our mandate in this policy drive of the government, so that we also go along with the government. That's all that we have to do now.
Okay, I have to let you go. You spoke to the president yesterday. You said you were very candid. Do you trust that something good will come out of it?
But you know, a president is very candid. When you talk to him, you also he understands these issues interactive, and then he really enjoyed the conversation, because we did not go there with problem. We went there, took our time, and also
I see you are smiling.
send. Yes, because
Enjoyment,
because
but the market is in turmoil.
because he was admiring our points. Because if we have gone there with just throwing our hands in the space, we would not even look serious.
All right.
And so that's what.
All right. Hopefully, you won't lock your shops again as everything normalizes. Hopefully. Dr. Alex Akpabli is Vice President of the Forex Bureau Association of Ghana. And thank you for coming. He's also a lecturer, teaches a lot of business entrepreneurship with the University of Ghana Business School. Thank you for passing through. Great insights. You are great players, academicians as well, and then great players within industry. And as for our own man, Dr. Joseph Obing is the president for the Ghana Union of Traders Association. He's always available for us. And of course, Dr. Kweku Ajimandria.
The whole thing is coming to me again.
Yeah. Kweku Ajimandria is the chief executive for the Association of Oil Marketing Companies. He says if nothing is done, a prediction about how possibly we can get to 20 Ghana cedis per liter of at least petrol in December is not far-fetched. And he hasn't said it's possible, but he says that if we don't have control of the market, there could be some concerns about us getting there. We're hoping that you enjoyed this discussion of 3 Business Initiative. You can get more business stories as you get to 3news.com and also click on the business tab and read more content from 3 Business Initiative. It's where we have to go for a break. When we come back, we'll bring you the latest updates. We're getting closer to the opening of the World Cup in Qatar.